You have made it to Gooner Down Under TV, and as always, it is a massive pleasure to have you here. Today, we have to do it. We're talking about the Jurrien Timber injury. I sort of said after that game review, it didn't look too good. Those no contact injuries where it's sort of just that leg collapsing in on itself are typically the worst kind of injuries to get. And he got a torn ACL, again, one of the worst injuries, and it's probably going to be 8 to 9 months, I'd assume. And then from there, who knows, by the time he gets back up to match fitness, rebuilds his confidence, sort of doesn't need to second guess whether his knees are going to be under him. Who knows how long that is going to take. I think personally he's probably going to be out for the entire season. Maybe we could get him sort of starting in preseason next season, but that is so long away, and it is such a shame because he was by far the best of our new signings, at least performance-wise. Playing right back, left back, strong, inverting, good passer, getting into good positions, and it's just such a shame to lose him, this early. I feel like that's Arsenal's luck. Guy never gets injured playing for Ajax. Half a game with Arsenal, bam, torn ACL. One thing I'm going to say, I've seen a lot of people sort of accusing the physio team. I feel like that's, it's pretty harsh. Growing up playing sports myself, never at a high level, but anytime you're injured, whether it's a concussion, ankle injury, knee injury, whatever it is, you want to go back and play. So I think that had something to do with it. The second part, it's so hard to assess whether someone's got something that can reoccur. If he passed all the tests, it's all hindsight. If he was fine and then Arteta sort of yanked him for precautions, we end up losing the match. I'm sure everyone would be on his case saying he's got to play. You can't take him out. He's fine. We've got to catch up to City, etc., etc. So I think it's one of those lose-lose. Injuries happen. It sort of sucks, but now we've got to move on. The question is, what do we do? We're basically back to square one. Probably going to be even worse than last season. It's looking like Tierney is going to be leaving. There's sort of some speculations that he might be going to Newcastle, Aston Villa. There was a third team as well. Personally, I think he should go nowhere near that Newcastle team. We should not be strengthening those teams very close to us. And I feel like Newcastle is right on our tail, and we would be making a massive mistake sort of strengthening our rivals. You see Pep saying that he doesn't really want to sell to Arsenal again after what we were able to do with Zinchenko and Jesus. I think we should learn that and not sell to our direct competition. I think especially, Trippier and Tierney could be a pretty good dynamic fullback combo, and Newcastle's already got enough weapons. I think I'd rather keep him and not play him than sell him for 35 to Newcastle. Talking about our squad though, we do have a decent, a good back four, like the back four that got us so close last year. The only thing is the injury concerns. So Zinchenko has been quite injury prone. Now if he's gone, who do we play left back? Tierney looks like he's out the door, and it's either Tomiyasu or Kivior, I guess. And none of them have that sort of dynamic aspect that a Zinchenko or a Timber has, and I think that's going to hold us back. Now it's the same, Timber was depth to basically every one of these positions. He could play right back, left back, centre back. And so now that amazing depth that we thought we had, it's all gone. If Salib is injured, does that mean we're back to Holding? Personally, I don't want that. I don't want Holding to start again for us. I think we've tried that long enough. Personally, I don't mind him as being sort of a bench player coming in at the end of the game when we go to a back five. I think he did that role pretty solidly last season. But then, when he goes to that starting, he's just not able to produce at the level we need, especially if we're looking to catch City. It's not just a come fourth or fifth, enter the Champions League. We want to win the Premier League this season. And so I think the only chance we have is going back into that market. We sort of thought we were very packed in defense, and now we're like one or two injuries, and it's another chaos situation. And so, I think we're sort of got one person in each position. Tomiyasu can play right back, left back, who I'm happy with. It's not, I would prefer him being Ben White's right back replacement. I feel like that's more like for like. It doesn't mean we have to mess around with our system too much. But I think when he comes in for left back for Zinchenko, unless if it's played like versus a team like Liverpool where he's just there to sort of neutralize Salah, he doesn't give us much going forward. And so I think now, we maybe need to get one or even two more defenders. I want someone to sort of be able to replace replace Zinchenko, and I also want someone to be able to come in and sort of cover these two positions here. So either a right-sided centre back who can cover for Saliba if he's injured, or a right back who can allow Ben White or Tomiyasu to come into that right centre back role and give more depth to Saliba. I think as it stands, we just don't have it. We're looking a little bit thin now, and especially multiple competitions, these guys are going to have to play a lot of games. Zinchenko, I'm not too sold if he can do that. I feel like now that Timber's injured, he's probably already going to be rushed back. So if he's not at the fitness level required, how long can he last? I hope he can last the whole season, but it's just hard when you're constantly picking up like little niggling injuries. It's hard to sort of build momentum out of that. And so, Edu, Arteta, please, let's go back into this market. Whatever you have to do, even if it's hopefully like a deal like Raya, where it's a loan with maybe an obligation, but we just need more bodies. There's been talk about Fresneda. Not too sure about him. I haven't watched him too much, but he's young. He's tall. I think he's 6 foot. Apparently a very good passer. So maybe, he can come in and sort of play a Zinchenko type role. But honestly, that's not for now. I just want Arsenal to go back into the market and get some defenders. And the issue is I also want, a backup for Saka and maybe a striker. And I don't see all that happening. So I think at least let's settle this defense, try and get back to clean sheets. Because, last season we found if a couple of these guys were out, it was a horror show. And I think, at least attacking wise, we're able to sort of work around, get some goals in, everyone can contribute. But defense is where we need to be the strongest. So that's my talk for today. Let me know what you think. Do you think we even need to go for another defender after Timber's injury? Or do you think we really do need one and it's going to be, catastrophic if we don't? Leave a comment down below of your thoughts. Love to hear what you guys have to say. As well, if you haven't seen my latest video, it was a FIFA 23 Arsenal career mode. Just having some fun before that new game comes out, and it'll be sort of more Arsenal road to glory. So that should be fun. As well, check out all my other content. It really does help, and like and subscribe. But for today, that is all for me. I'll see you in that next video. Peace.